Sheets tangle around my legs as I jolt upright. The air is charged, blue light pooling across the bed, thunder throbbing just beyond the window. My chest heaves. It's just a dream. Just a dream, I whisper, but my voice cracks on the words. I clutch my head, palms slick. Half-formed symbols burn behind my eyelids, spirals twisting into gates. A golden eye blinking out of blackness. Colors and sounds I've never known awake. I blink and reach for my notebook, hand shaking, desperate to capture the fragments before they slip away. Every line I scribble feels dangerous. Secret codes, dream logic, numbers, and patterns that don't belong to daylight. My fingers hesitate. I write anyway. Stone gates open. Voices chant in no language. There's a crowd of shadows, and I'm at the center, holding. I stop, fear prickling my skin. My reflection glints in the glass. Face pale, eyes wide, hair wild with sweat. For a heartbeat, there's something behind me. A shadow where there shouldn't be. I glance over my shoulder. Only silence and the faint tick of the wall clock. Lightning flashes, painting the room with a harsh azure wash. My pulse quickens. I hear footsteps in the hallway, just the old pipes settling, no doubt. I close my eyes and see the golden eye again, watching from darkness, huge and merciless, yet somehow pleading. My heart pounds. Who are you? My voice trembles, barely a hiss. No answer, just the electric hum in the air and the ache behind my temples. I force myself to keep writing. The song won't stop. They want me to remember. Wind rattles the window pane. Rain smears the outside world into streaks of shadow and neon. I grip the pen harder, daring the words onto the page. If you hear this, do not speak it aloud. My hand goes cold, and the spiral on the paper seems to pulse. I stand, disoriented, the whole house warped, humming with a resonance I can't locate. I pad barefoot to the bathroom, splashing cold water on my face. Eyes red, lips trembling, I stare at myself. For just a second, gold flickers in my own gaze. A car horn blares outside. I startle, adrenaline jolting through me. I stumble backward, catching the side of the sink. The room darkens as thunder rumbles away. As I return to bed, sheets icy, the symbols sear themselves into memory. I fall asleep afraid but alert, notebook beside me, heart drumming out a secret code for the morning. Before dawn, I whisper, I don't know what this means, but I can't forget. In the glare of sunrise, I see the spiral drawn on my arm. In ink or in dream, I can't say. The blue light clings to my skin. The echo of thunder slowly fades. Sunrise throbs faint on the blinds. My notebook's edges curl from last night's panic, pages silvered with strangers' symbols. I stare at my words. Every spiral, every jagged eye, debating if anyone else should ever see them. My phone buzzes. I text a friend. Had a dream, woke up terrified. Ever? Happened to you? Their reply is quick, insistent. Talk to Mirza or Aris from the Dreams channel. Don't sit with this alone. I hesitate, then photograph the wild scrawl and send it to 3 friends in different time zones. Responses are instant and varied. Mirza, who grew up with folk stories in Siberia, sends, "Don't share it in a rush. Let me ask my mentor." Aris's message pings at dusk, voice note trembling. I showed it to a Sufi master in Marrakesh today. He sprinkled dream sand around silver beads and just said, "Protection is needed first. This dream is a vessel, not a message. Be careful with spilling." Her hands flutter into frame, moving circles over a table scattered with written talismans. 2 days blend into one. A Japanese contact, Aiko, carves a translation of my dream onto fine rice paper, then burns it gently over incense. In my lineage, we carry difficult dreams in water. She murmurs on our call, her voice soft as the rising steam. She turns her palm, tracing a spiral in the ash. Sometimes, the best meaning is hidden until we stop searching directly for it. I ache for clarity, but nobody tells me what I want to hear. Mirza types, "Your story's symbols, they're old, older than my grandmother's teachings. Let's ask deeper." He lights a candle and circles the flame with a string of cloudy beads, murmuring in dialects I do not know. Midnight comes. Incense coils high above my desk. I write their advice in small circles, notes spinning out from the original dream. Wait. Watch the days for more signs. The riddle may explain itself. My hands hover as I reach for the phone. For a moment, I let it ring in the dark, listening to the distant rush of voices from lands I've never seen. I finally reply. I'm scared, but also curious. I'll keep tracking what happens. Silence settles, broken only by the scratching pen forming one more spiral on the page, a promise to keep searching and to trust that meaning will come, if not as a cure, then as a new kind of connection. A curl of smoke drifts over my fingers as I blow out the candle. The spiral lingers beneath my hand, warm and strange, as if the dream is listening back. The next morning, my phone is already buzzing, one message after another. I scroll, hands clammy. Mirza's voice message plays first, his syllables hesitant. "I listened with my mentor," he says. "She went silent, then told me to erase your voice note. She says your dream's shape is not made for speech. Please, for your sake, don't repeat it aloud." I catch the faint rattle of beads as he ends the call in a whisper. Aiko writes, "The rice paper burned strangely. The smoke turned blue, then disappeared too fast. My grandmother urges you, never draw that spiral again. She said, some eyes must stay closed if we wish to wake unharmed." I imagine her, fingers trembling as she presses the phone tight. I hesitate, feeling the warning, pulse through my chest. An unfamiliar number appears. Aris's Sufi teacher, his voice older, cracked. "The sand pattern broke during the ritual," he says, barely above a murmur. "A protection circle shattered that's never failed before. The story you carry isn't for Earth alone. Promise you'll bury those details, not reveal them. If you break this, dreams may not let you rest." My messages pile up with short, breathless notes. The Peruvian elder, asked by Aris, sends a short video. Her eyes glisten with tears as she unrolls a ceremonial thread, then snaps it in two, staring in silent grief at the strand she's never broken. The screen flickers. The Siberian shaman, midway through a video call, frowns suddenly and goes still. Then the camera drops, leaving only darkness and static. I crouch at my desk, heart pounding. The blue candle beside me begins to flicker, high and unsteady, as if moved by a draft I can't feel. I drop my head to the old leather journal, salty tears spotting the page. What have I done? I murmur into my sleeve, voice shaking between doubt and a new rising dread. A friend messages, blunt. Lock the notebook. Don't speak of this again. Promise. My hands tremble. I try to reply, but sentences come out jumbled, as if the dream's language wants to twist everything on my tongue. My eyes drift over the candle. For a moment, the flame burns deep blue, a warning or maybe an invitation I can't yet refuse. I let the messages close, biting my lip. I run my fingers over the page and wonder, is this destiny or a sign to turn back? The room listens, silent and watchful, the air dense with secrets not meant to be shared. I wake slowly, convincing myself daylight means relief. But the world greets me with strangeness. Steam slides up the bathroom mirror, and before I can wipe it away, a perfect spiral forms in the condensation. My hand hovers, shivering. Did I leave that? I wonder out loud, but my fingertips come away clean, no trace beneath the skin. In the street, everything feels slightly unreal. The sky rasped with clouds that pulse gold above the rooftops. The engines of passing cars stuttering on a rhythm eerily close to the melody from my dream. I hear a humming in the breeze. Rounding the corner, I nearly bump into a painter setting up easels by a puddle. He peers at me, thoughtful, then kneels and points. Ever seen an eye like that in street water? The puddle glows in a patch of sunlight, its surface shaped unmistakably into an iris and ring of gold. My stomach knots. No, but it looks familiar, I answer, voice barely audible. In the cafe, I order coffee but freeze as the barista, without looking up, hums a tune hauntingly close to the one chanted in the dream's deepest corridor. Silver coins clatter in the tip jar, one marked faintly with the spiral. I start, staring as a nearby table erupts in laughter, their words weaving. It felt like déjà vu, looping again and again. On the subway, a stranger scribbles a symbol in the corner of their notebook. It's the same spiral, tilted and looping, ringed by smaller shapes, all from my dream. They catch my gaze, eyes wide. Have you ever seen this before? They ask softly. It's been everywhere, on windows, on receipts, even in the foam of my tea. I pause before answering, gaze skimming the window as city lights flicker past. The neon sign above the train door winks, gold, then blue, then gold again, in the unmistakable outline of the dream's eye. I murmur, sometimes dreams leak out. Maybe they're warnings, or maybe reminders you're not alone in seeing. The crowd shifts. A breeze swirls inside the cabin, scattering napkins marked with faint spirals to the floor before dancing out into the noise of the afternoon. For 1 second, the humming stops, a pause thick with possibility. I rest my palm on the spiral drawn on my arm. The world holds its breath, and I step forward. Each ordinary thing shimmering with a hidden message only I, and maybe a handful of others, can see. A week passes, and the world feels smaller. Every device, every screen alive with messages spun from dream symbols and hope. My phone vibrates at sunrise. The message flashes in Portuguese, then Mandarin, then English. A dream interpreter in Brazil writes, "You are not alone. My own student painted the same spiral onto her bedroom wall last night. We think you should connect with dream seekers around the world." My throat tightens as I scroll. A monk from Bhutan appears on my video call, incense coiling in the air behind him. "Last night the 3 paths came," he intones, eyes gentle above the smoke. "Did you choose any gate in your dream, or did it choose you?" He lights a stick, drawing circles over river stones set neatly on his desk. I answered slowly, "I never found a gate, just a golden eye watching. It asked me something. I'm still searching for that answer." Nerves crawl over my skin, but curiosity wins. Another notification. A South African Sangoma types with firm urgency. "I dreamed of your gate. In the spirit circle, they said, 'Wake the silent guides, don't hide. Let's gather all who remember the melody or spiral. That's how the riddle breaks open.'" Her wrists flash with braided grass as she begins wrapping stones. Within days, an online group forms, Translators, interpreters, lucid dreamers, folk healers from every continent. My inbox is filled with photos, paper lanterns cut with spiral windows in Japan, candles burning at Moroccan doorways, sand drawings left on a Namibian shore. Mongolian throat singers join a live stream, humming the same deep note that filled the end of my dream. We meet virtually by candlelight and riverstone, with prayers chanted in a jumble of tongues. New traditions spark to life, ink symbols drifting on river water, strangers walking backward at dawn while humming a shared tune. For the first time, we trade more than just warnings. We share legends. Japan's nightly visitors, Nigeria's silent guides, Peru's dreaming waters. Every story a thread pulled from the hidden tapestry, stitched beneath our waking world. I thought I was cursed, one young man confesses, fingers nervous as he circles a spiral in salt. But now, maybe we're the ones meant to remember for everyone else too scared to see. A Romanian healer holds her candle high on screen. Dreams like yours have always come before a great shift. Let's promise we'll never let fear silence us again. I smile, breath shallow but sure, as river stones cool my hand and grass knots gather beside a glowing monitor. We are many, drawn together, not by blood, but by the courage to question and share what scared us most. What is the strangest sign or dream that's ever made you question reality? Share your story below. Darkness presses at my window as I set my mind to try again. My hands arrange river stones in a spiral beside the bed, grass knots cool and solid in my fist. On screen, our circle gently murmurs from their corners of the world, chanting soft words, lighting gold candles, breathing deeply in unison. I close my eyes and let their voices lock me loose from gravity. Aiko's chant drifts in first. Let the scent find you. Let memory wake you. Mirza's deep voice grounds me. Remember to ask questions as you step in. Permission brings protection. I clutch the spiral pendant, whispering, if I return, let me see the answer, not just the fear. Scents of sandalwood and ozone fill the air, thick and warm as summer rain. My breathing slows. I spin downward, colors sharp, tunnel swirling, but I keep my vision clear. The world shifts. I feel my body drop gently into a city spun from mirrors, silent and endless, stars braided into every window and street lamp. My voice echoes as I walk. Where is the gate? A soft, golden light pulses beside an alley. I follow, heart pounding. Not quite fear, not quite hope. In the alley, the spiral from my dream glows against a brick wall. The golden eye appears above it, shifting, watching, never blinking. I call out, "Why are you haunting us? Why all these warnings?" The air stirs, the eye changes, forming a mouth, offering not threat, but a challenge. You carry a choice. Will you learn the cost of truth, or turn back to easy forgetting? Its voice is not one, but all voices I've heard. The interpreters, the dreamers, my own. I swallow, nerves crackling. I'll remember, I say, voice steady. The ground splits, dropping me into a room with endless doors. Each pulses with a memory, a childhood fear, my ancestors' shame, the first story I ever told myself to be safe. One door opens. I step into blinding light, heart wide open, unsure but unbreakable. A breeze of sandalwood floods over me as the dream folds, tunnel colors spinning slower now. I grip the spiral, a promise alive in my palm. The city melts away, and the golden eye blinks once. Warning, invitation, or blessing, I can't say. I wake, drenched and gasping, dream symbols echoing under my skin. Cold soaks through me as I fall, weightless, into a vast chamber pulsing with stormy blue shadows. My voice dies on my lips. A circle of elders stands before me. Their faces are just swirling veils, every robe stitched with shifting runes. My heart thuds. I open my mouth, but all I hear is breath, shallow and afraid. One elder's cloak ripples, flaring with pale light. He turns toward me, not speaking, but his presence fills my head. Child of waking and dream, have you come as thief or heir? I stammer, hands shaking. I don't know. I came back because I need to understand. I'm tired of warnings. Give me the truth or send me home. A low, many-voiced murmur rises from the circle. Another elder's shadow stretches across the endless marble floor, a wheel of colored light spinning above her head. Her words echo as thoughts in my mind. Few return by choice. State your wish. What do you seek in the place between sight and sleep? I swallow. My throat burns. I want to know why I was shown the gate. Why did everyone ask me to forget? Did I do something wrong? Or am I meant to mend something broken? My fingers close around the spiral talisman. It pulses, then grows still. Sudden silence. The tribunal's voice divides, then multiplies, each question a trial, tugging at memory and fear. Do you renounce comfort to bear knowledge others fled? Will you heal wounds by bringing them to light, or make new ones with what you reveal? Each word spins the chamber. Doors open. I see my childhood shame. The first time I lied to hide pain. A city from the dream slowly waking after centuries of silence. Its windows full of longing. I can't move. I can barely breathe. I didn't come for power. I came because the dream wouldn't let me rest. If the truth is dangerous, I'll carry what I must. But I want to serve what helps, not just what hurts. One elder lifts a hand, fingers flickering like a torch's flame. A mirror rises behind the council, showing my face warped by courage and terror both. The burden is not seeing but carrying the silence after, the elder intones, each syllable heavy as thunder. Choose, fade and forget, or question and belong. I step forward, trembling. I'll remember, even if I regret it. Their shrouds billow, the wheel of light above spinning faster. Suddenly, every color vanishes into a single beam, cobalt, gold, silver, illuminating my form and all the doors within the dream. I don't know if I'm judged worthy or simply marked, but the hush carries permission and warning together. As the marble floor stretches on, my shadow stretches too. Long, uncertain, but anchored now by the questions only I can answer. I stand alone in the chamber's glow, the memory of the tribunal's voices thundering in my ears. My pulse hammers. Above, the colored wheel spins, then slows. One faceless elder steps closer, robes rippling with colors I've never named. This is your crossroads. Their voice threads through the silence, drifting around me without echo. You may wake and forget, sealing the dream forever, or remember all and inherit the burden of sight. Decide. My tongue is dry. I bite my lip. If I wake and forget, what becomes of those dreams? Is everyone pulled in by my story? For a second, no one answers. Then another elder breathes. Safety, but silence. No more symbols disturbing your skin. No more waking worlds split wide by shadow. Their finger sweeps the air, and I feel the memory of relief, soft as sleep. I close my eyes. Cold wind rises around my ankles, teasing at the spiral etched there. My arms flood prickly, 1,000 tiny sparks racing under my skin. And if I choose to remember? My voice shakes. If I claim what you're offering? The air thickens. The golden eye flickers above me. open, then closed, its lid shimmering like falling leaves. You'll see beneath the world, the tribunal says as one. You'll wake changed, but you'll owe a debt. Those marked by the dream will seek you out. Their sorrow, their riddles, their hope, yours to bear. Salt gathers on my lips, a sting of tears unshed. A hush descends. There's always a cost, I whisper, hands fisted at my sides. Another breeze spins the leaves, dream colors folding to gold. Let me remember, I say, certainty blooming. If I have to live with fear, I'd rather see the truth than hide from it. The golden eye blinks slowly, growing large, then shatters into a flurry of bright leaves. They tumble around me, silent and infinite. I reach out, palms tingling, heart raw. As the last leaf lands, the chamber dims and softens. The doors behind me swing open. A voice settles beside my ear, low and final. So be it. Carry the sight. Make something new with it. I open my eyes and taste salt in the air. My body aches, but I feel awake, fully, ready or not, for whatever waits beyond the dream. If given a choice between knowledge and comfort, which would you choose? Why? Share your choice below. Light spills across my bed, flatter and sharper than I remember. I sit up, sweat cooling on my skin, the golden spiral from the dream imprinting my palm. The world feels thinner, breathless, each sound too focused, each shadow edged with possibility. My phone buzzes with unread messages. I open the window and a blackbird stares at me, head cocked, eyes bright with a knowing that unnerves me. You see me now, don't you? I murmur, voice wary. The bird blinks, then beats away without a sound. Downstairs, my youngest cousin tugs my sleeve. Did you bring the gate? She whispers, out of nowhere, eyes wide and certain. My heart lurches. What do you mean? I ask, cautiously. She shrugs, tracing a single spiral on the table with sticky jam fingers. It's everywhere when I close my eyes. Everybody's face is gold and blue. As I move through my day, strangers on the street pause mid-conversation, glancing at me as if something's shifted, just beyond their words, just outside their knowing. Some frown, others smile in recognition no introduction could ever explain. My neighbor's cat circles my ankles, its eyes catching dusk and glinting gold. I freeze as the animal meows in a voice too low, too close to the sigh from my dream. Coffee in hand, I pass a group of teenagers. One boy turns. Did you see the news? People everywhere say they haven't slept. There's a weird pattern showing up in everyone's dreams. Rings, gates, sometimes an eye. The girl next to him nods, her gaze distant. Feels like the world's see-through sometimes, like there's a layer we almost remember. My cheeks burn. I whisper to myself, I didn't mean for this to spread, but maybe it never was just mine. On my way home, I catch a glimpse of my face in a car window, colors around my eyes shifting just briefly to gold. Evening falls, shadows stretching across the street. Friends text, worried by dreams they can't unsee. I think I had your vision, one writes. The spiral burned so bright I woke up crying. Another confides, I've been humming that melody since last Thursday. Can you hear it too? As I sit on my bed, notebook open, the difference settles. The line between dream and waking has blurred. My world is touched by a new translucence, sometimes terrifying, sometimes achingly beautiful. I understand that this awakening is not an end, but the beginning of carrying something both vast and personal. Responsibility woven with wonder, never meant to be held alone. The cat purrs at my feet in the lamplight. eyes gold as dusk, and for a moment, everything, the pain, the fear, the echo of that golden eye, feels perfectly, heartbreakingly real. The following days are restless but alive. My phone lights up at dawn, mirrors of my dream waking in distant cities. In Moscow, a new friend sends a photo. A group gathered at sunrise, tracing spiral symbols in chalk across the frost. Their laughter hums above the cold. "We call this hope circling," her message reads, the words soft but determined. I kneel by my own threshold, lighting a gold candle, wax warm in my palm, a wick that sputters before catching. The curve of flame draws me in. "Let this hold what I survived," I whisper, pressing the candle into a line of salt poured at the doorway. My neighbor, watching from next door, calls out, "Is this your new ritual?" Her voice teasing, but gaze lingering on the spiral drawn in salt. My answer is gentle. "It's how I remember. Want to try it with me?" She shrugs, stepping closer, curiosity outweighing old disbelief. Together, we recite the melody from my dream, quiet but steady. She snorts the first time, then, as the last note fades, looks at the lit candle and sighs, "That actually felt good." Across town, Aris hosts a meal where everyone brings a story. We laugh as paint smears spiral sigils onto mugs and napkins. Mirza tunes his old guitar and leads a song, its chords familiar but laced with something new, an echo from the dream. We end the night by lighting small lanterns, letting them float in the rain-soaked street, gold flickering against the dark. Online, images stream in. A family in Rio, painting symbols on shells before breakfast. A circle of kids in Mumbai, walking backward at sunrise, chanting their own version of the spiral song. In every city, group after group forms, none by blood, all by the courage to claim what once scared them most. In my room, I press a tiny charm, etched with a spiral, into my palm. My breath steadies. "We're not alone anymore," I say, voice sure this time. The rain on the tin roof is bright and rhythmic, laughter singing beneath the sound, and for the first time, I sense the boundaries of the world bending, not breaking, but letting something braver in. Late at night, I stare at the blinking cursor, a blank recording app waiting. My finger hovers. "Do I really want to say it out loud?" I whisper. Memories of warnings flicker, Mirza's fear, Aiko's trembling hands, interpreters' pleas to stay silent. My breath frosts the screen as I hit the record. I take a shaky breath and speak. I dreamed of the spiral opening. I saw the golden eye. I was shown the gates, the cities of mirrors, the tribunal's faceless elders. I was told to remember, even if it hurt. My words sound distant yet urgent, the symbols tumbling out for the first time. I pause. If someone else is dreaming this, I want you to know. You aren't alone, and silence is its own kind of prison. I think fear only grows when we pretend it's not there. My voice wavers. I wipe sweat from my brow and keep going, letting details spill, colors, chants, the melody that won't leave my mind. The night around me is thick, almost humming. A ping. Eris responds first with a voice note, tears in his tone. "Your dream is my dream too. I never dared speak it before. Thank you." My inbox fills, comments, shared stories, even arguments. One person writes, "I remembered the gate when I heard your melody." Others leave long, twisted paragraphs about secrets only a dream could reveal. Some listeners argue, the mystery is too big, too dangerous. But others, emboldened by my voice, record their own versions. An online group forms, voices rippling out like stones in a pond. I hear snippets, Pauses, laughter, even sobs. The old taboo unravels, replaced by connection and debate, by reckoning and wonder. I light a candle, blue and gold. Letters pour in, ink pooling across the desk. Spirals drawn by strangers, stories of faraway symbols surfacing in their morning tea or train ride. For the first time, silence is broken. The energy of the dream shifts from secret to catalyst, from forbidden to beginning. As I blow out the flame, a curl of smoke dances upward, spelling nothing but possibility into the dark. Sunrise seeps through rain-washed glass. The world seems half awake, as if still caught on the threshold between story and silence. I hold the spiral charm against my palm. Maybe every forbidden dream is really an invitation, I say quietly, tracing the pattern. My reflection in the window blurs, gold and blue shifting where skin should be. For a second I see not just my face, but the faces of everyone who wrote, whispered, or sang about their own spirals in the dark. I sift through letters piled on my desk, ink still wet, some pages dotted with candle ash or stamped with children's fingerprints. I smile. The world is less alone now, I murmur, voice soft but steady. Not because we solved the mystery, but because we dared name our secret and let it change us. Outside, a faint melody, part flute, part birdsong, rises from somewhere unseen, threading through the open window. I close my eyes, listening to the promise at its heart. Courage, humility, and the joy of a story finally shared. I uncurl my fingers, letting the spiral catch a beam of morning light. If you dream again, don't turn away, I say for anyone still listening out there. Remember, you're not the only one called. Tell your dream, even if your voice shakes. The reflection in the window shimmers, gold and blue pulsing as rain taps out a secret rhythm. I gather my things, every line of every dream carried forward, not as a burden, but as the beginning of something new. If this journey touched you, subscribe for more mysteries and answer. What dream are you still afraid to share? And who would you trust to hear it?